Hi everyone, we have another 15-10 game here. We're playing fanwink from Holland. Got a bishop's opening. Berlin defense. I know this line up to here. Hoping to transpose to some sort of Italian game where the plan for white is pretty clear. Let's see what happens. Knight f3. Looks normal. Is it too early for c3? Probably not. Let's do that. c3 prepares d4 later in the game. Shouldn't be anything too crazy happening. That's the reason I'm playing this opening. Just trying and build up my patience a bit instead of trying to find something insane at the beginning. Usually black castles here, and then white can also castle, or maybe play bishop back to b3, knight to d2. He's thinking. He must be scared of immediate d4 maybe, but that's not the plan. Yeah, bishop can come on here, but apparently this is not dangerous at all for white. The idea being knight to d2, knight to f1, and then this bishop might end up on g6 doing absolutely nothing. Let's see. Okay. So h3 now? Is it too early? I think h3 now. Okay. Well, I think here knight to f1 is okay. Knight to g3 coming. Just put his bishop back on g6 where it's not doing anything. Can also go to e3 if needed. That's also probably not a bad idea. Maybe bishop to e3 and then try and get rid of his probably best piece right now. Yeah, I'm a little bit underdeveloped. I can actually play bishop e3 regardless whether my knight is backing it up, so I'm gonna go for knight g3 first. See what he does with that bishop. If I can have, there you go, he goes back. It's not a great spot for the bishop. Now I can try and get rid of this bishop. I think that's gonna be my plan now. I'm not worried about bishop takes. Fanwink. Lean Klein from Holland. He has played 1,554 standard games. Got at this pace, God knows when I'm gonna catch up to him. His highest rating on Bullet was in 2005, so he's been playing on ICC for a long time. I'm happy with my position. There was recently, and I still don't know how to pronounce this, but Sinquefield Cup? Sinquefield? Carlsen said, I don't like my position. Thought it was quite funny. Where should I castle? If I castle kingside, immediately developing my rook on the f-file. If I try and castle queenside, is d5 possible for him? Not yet. That's good. Is d4 possible for me? Well, that hangs my e pawn, my e4 pawn. He's just protecting his bishop, right? So I don't play knight to h4, and I can still play knight to h4 and then get my knight on f5. But I might castle first. I'm gonna castle kingside. Hold on, let's think about it for a second more. Maybe bishop back to b3 first, in case he plays knight to c5. I can defend. I can put my bishop back on the c2 square and defend that pawn. It might also support. Kind of like my bishop on this diagonal though. I just need to see that this bishop's safe. I don't really want to push d4 though, because that improves his bishop. Do I ever want to push d4 in this position? I don't know. Maybe not. That's a good point of consideration. If d4, this bishop springs back to life, I could just leave my bishop here. Maybe he'll play knight to b6. I'm on a castle. Done. Yeah, so if you have a chance, look at that Carlsen video. It's really funny. I don't like my position in his face. Funny enough, his position wasn't that bad, but maybe because of his psychological state, he ended up losing it. I still like my position. I don't like that my g3 square is weak, but that's okay. It's not too bad. He doesn't have a way to exploit that. I don't see. Okay, so now he's trying to go for d5 himself. Can I prevent that? Don't think I can. That's probably okay. I mean, I just retreat my bishop. I don't have to take. Thinking knight to h4 now, trying to grab the light square bishop, or get a knight to f5. And in the case of d5, I just put my bishop back on b3, and if he takes, I take back. I could end up losing the pawn, right? Let's see. Knight to h4, bishop back, knight to f5, d5, bishop back to b3, d takes on e, d takes on e. And then if he takes, I can just take back with a pawn. If he takes my knight, I take back with a pawn. If he takes my e pawn, it looks fine. I'm gonna go for that. I don't want to get too low on time again. My position's still decent, I think. Calculated this, right? So I should just play it. Just trying to improve my position a little bit, and getting a knight to f5 it's a triumph. He can't kick it out with g6 because h6 is hanging then. He defends that pawn. I thought he was just gonna advance it. Well, right now, pretty sure that I just have to do this. Yeah, my queen can come to f3 to make tactics like knight takes on h6 available. It's not a bad idea. Maybe queen to f3 next move. Let's wait and see what he does though. I mean, yeah, well, the queen to f3. Because d4 is not dangerous, is it? Just take, he takes, he loses a pawn as it stands. And even in some variations where he doesn't lose a pawn, it doesn't look like it's hurting me. I already saw that d takes on e doesn't seem too bad. Is knight takes on h6 working straight away? Check, he takes. And then queen to... No, it's not working, is it? He just defends with a king. I want to put my queen on f3, I think. What's his best move then? Queen to f3. He takes on e, I take back. I don't see much of a problem. I can get the d file first. Is there a problem with queen to f3? I don't see it. D takes an e, d takes an e, and then rook a to d1. His knight on b6 is a little bit out of the game right now, which is pleasant. His best move might be to just move the f knight somewhere, so that that tactic stops working. But if he does that, maybe I can move my queen onto onto g4. See, this is why the knight on f5 is a really good piece, and that's why that little plan of getting the knight there was a small triumph, because it gives him a lot of problems. So now that my queen is nearby, it's just, he should be feeling uncomfortable. His plan in the center is all great. He has a very nice center with d5 and e5, but the reason why taking my bishop on e3 is not good is showing now. It's not the best idea. That was one of his good pieces, and when he does give me double pawns, but he also gives me an open f file, which I'm using right now to attack. Maybe this position is actually good for him, but he's not a computer, so he might not find the best continuation. Although I do think it's good for white. Let's see what his next move is. My plan is knight takes on h6, which wins a pawn and destroys his pawn structure. What is his best move? I mean, I'm not suggesting moves for him right now, because if I was black, I'd be struggling. Like knight to d7, queen to g4, right? And then what? Queen to f6. He loses his. No, he doesn't lose his queen. Queen to f6. But that looks just scary for him. I mean, queen to f6. Knight to h5, and then what? Yeah, no, that's not good for him. That's why he's thinking. He's got himself in a complicated position very easily, and I think his problem started on move 10 here, when he took my bishop on e3. He gave me a clear plan of action. It's always nice when you have a clear plan of action. So yeah, if anybody's playing these kind of positions, remember that if an opponent takes your bishop on this file, it's... What the hell? He's ignoring my attack. Trying to get my bishop out of this diagonal. Now the question is, do I play a4 to keep my bishop here? a4 is probably a good idea. a4, c5. Or do I just go on and proceed with my tactic? Knight takes on h6, pawn takes, queen takes, knight, queen takes, I take. What's his plan? Okay, so check takes. After I take everything, it's his move. a4, bishop c2. And what he's saying is that my bishop's just gonna be bad. I think I might play a4 just to keep my bishop on this nice diagonal facing his king. Yeah, go on, a4. Thing is, at the end of the line where I'm taking on h6, I'm still gonna do that. My bishop, if he ever plays d takes on e or advances that pawn, the diagonal opens up for my bishop again, and my rook and my bishop are attacking f7, and I can get my second rook onto the f file. So I think his idea was that to lessen the impact of winning that pawn, because I'm not just winning a pawn, I'm actually opening up his king and getting an attack. So yeah, his idea was to try and stop my bishop from contributing to the attack. Because if I had let him play a4 eventually, my bishop would be shooting against my own pawn chain, like shooting, I say, well, attacking my own pawn chain. And I have to waste time improving it. Whereas this way, he's already on a nice diagonal. This pawn is going to remain pinned, this rook is going to remain defending this pawn. If ever he were to play bishop to g6, I could have tactics if this diagonal is up and like rook takes. A lot of nice things can happen when the bishop's on that diagonal, so I hope I didn't lose my chance to play knight takes on h6. Because he could play, well, can he? Like h5, is that a good move for him? h5? h5, let's see. h5 looks like an interesting possibility. Whoa, did he? Maybe he never saw what I'm planning here. Queen there, what is she actually doing? Well, I can take on h6 without problem now. I'm gonna do that. Take now, think later. Let him think, use his time. I can think now. G takes, I'm obviously just winning the knight back without a problem. King there, which is probably what he'll play. King to h8. Then maybe just knight to g4, trying to get rid of that knight. The defender of his king. Knight to g4. He has to bring his other knight back to defend. Okay. I don't have to move that knight right now. Knight to g4, knight to d7, knight takes, knight takes, knight to h5. Takes, takes. Maybe rook to f2 for now. Try and bring the last rook into the game. I think I'm gonna do that. Bring the last piece into the game. What's his best move here? He takes, I take back. He takes on e4, I can take with a pawn. He takes with a knight, I take with a knight, he takes with bishop. He wins my knight at the end of that, but at great cost. I mean, I even have an intermediate move. Knight takes an f7 check if he moves that pawn. I need to keep my time advantage. Thing is one of the most important things. I don't like the fact my knight is on h6. He might be able to find something to exploit that, but I didn't see anything obvious. I mean, d takes on e, I'll just take back. And he takes with a bishop, I can take with my knight. He takes with a knight. I take on f7 first. Yeah, if he opens the diagonal with d taking, I think I will have some tactics involving knight takes and f7 with check. But obviously, after d takes on e is the first move, I believe. If he does something like rook to e8, I'll just play rook to f1, I think. What about queen to d6? Queen to d6 or queen to e7? No, queen to e7. Neither one of those moves scares me, because if he does take my knight, I just take back with check. And then when he captures with the queen, I just take with my rook, so there's not a problem there. So if he moves his queen, he moves his knight, yeah. So now I think I have to worry about my knight, right? Because now he's saying if he takes, I can't capture my piece back. I have to move this knight, and the only question is f5 or g4. I'm leaning towards g4. try and get rid of that piece. I'm gonna play that. I played a bit too fast, I didn't check if it was safe to do so. If he takes with a knight on g4, I can maybe take with my queen, maybe, and get my queen to h4. So I take with my queen. Well, knight f6, queen h4. Does he have anything scary at the end of that? Queen h4, knight. Not positive. Let's do that. I'm still gonna double up on the f file. Knight to f6, queen to h4. Can he trap my queen with like g5 and then a rook over? No, because his knight hangs. We check. Huge. I just looked at that now after playing queen to h4. But I'm putting a bit of time pressure on him, which I think is one of the keys of winning at this time control. Because when I play this 15 minutes plus 10, I often think I have an eternity, but you know, real chess games last for hours because you need time to think in positions you don't know, you're not familiar with. And in this control, often people start making bad moves under time pressure unless they're so unfamiliar with a position that they end up giving a huge opening advantage to their opponent. But okay, let's think. Queen to east. Oh, okay, he doesn't. I have some crazy stuff available now, don't I? I can take on f6 and then take the pawn with check, and after he moves king to g8, I have knight to h5 and it's mate next move, right? Take the knight, pawn takes, queen takes with check, only move king to g8, and when his king is on g8, knight to h5, and he has nothing to save him, so let's go for that. It's game over unless I miscalculated horribly. Remove the capture. He hasn't captured. I mean, I'm up a whole piece of material. I'll remove this. Next move is checkmates, unless I didn't see something. He should be resigning now. Good game, fanwink. Yeah, for anybody watching this video, try and not open up the f file for your opponent. Same goes for white. If black were ever to play bishop to e6, you don't really want to take and let him take with the f pawn after he's castled, or if he's about to castle, because then this rook just gives problems. As you see, it's the open f rook that's just won me the game. I took his last defender of the king away with my rook. His king is wide open. The extra knight I brought here many moves ago. Here we go, checkmate. Nice game. Show more recent games. Let's examine it quickly. You probably see that taking on that file is not a great idea according to the computer either. E4. So far I'm making all the computer moves for this opening, and that's because I've studied this line a bit. This is obviously an Italian game, a Gyuko piano now, without the knight on c6. That's the only thing that's missing for him. And he goes for this idea of pinning this knight, but As far as I know, you shouldn't be scared of this pin here. This bishop's not really doing much. You can play knight to d2 as I did, and then eventually he either gives you this bishop, which leaves your own white bishop unopposed. Could be a problem for them. Or if he escapes, his bishop becomes very passive on g6, as happened in this game. Look, h3 is already recommended for me, but I did this first. He castles. Now I do h3, and the best move is actually giving up the bishop, but obviously people know not to do that. Goes back. Knight f1. It's a line I've seen. c6 is good for him already. He develops his knight. The game is equal. This position is not that terrible for him, but I think it's just harder to play as black. I mean, now the game is equal, but this bishop is so passive on g6. It's not doing much. Maybe there's a way to exploit it, but in 20 minutes it must be hard to find. I mean, a way to exploit my lack of development. My king is not castled with like d5 or something. Computer says I could castle here, but I played this, and that gives him an advantage according to the computer. Look at this. But after he plays h6, he relinquishes that. Castling. Game is equal. So I guess if you're gonna take on e3, you have to have a very clear plan. I mean, the computer wants a5 straight away. I don't know why. Curious. c6. Castles. I mean, it's only slightly better for black because of this double pawns, but I think white's still gonna get plenty of play with this open f file. So sometimes computer ratings are not everything. Because what matters in this time control is how comfortable you are with a position. White had a very comfortable position here. I didn't do anything too great. Knight to h4, I found that move, computer suggested. With a plan of knight h to f5, it's exactly what I did. Good little plan. Happy with that. Queen to c7 is a good move for him now. He plays that, and white is better now. Here we go. Queen f3. I'm so happy that I found that. It's computer recommended attack. Good. I guess it's not too hard to find. But yeah, it gave me a good game here. D takes on e4 is his best move now. He went for that. I'm not sure what the plan of that is, but knight takes on g7 is working already. And the reason I didn't go for it now is because, let's say this, and then this. Bishop takes on d5 is possible. How is that possible? Well, the computer obviously sees that, but I was going to play this, and you see that the advantage drops, and I didn't like that my bishop would end up behind this pawns. That's why I didn't play it straight away. But why is this working? Rook takes on b6. Oh, because the knight will be hanging. Yeah, I didn't see that. I saw that the knight would be hanging some lines, but not in that specific one. If I did see that, I would have played knight takes on h6. Oh, with an obviously winning position. And instead I did this. It's not too bad. Now either he didn't see or he forgot that I have knight takes on h6, but knight takes on g7 is even stronger. Yes, of course. Wow, I missed that this is possible here. Mate in 3 if he takes a knight. And if he doesn't, knight b to d7. What's the continuation? Knight 7 to f5, just come back. Bishop takes on f5. I guess winning that pawn is more important. Get almost a piece of advantage. Instead I did this, which is an advantage nonetheless, and was enough in the game. Knight h to f5, so the computer wants me to go back to f5, and I wonder why. I have to look into that. I went back to g4. Oh no, I doubled up first. Queen takes on g4 is okay. Knight here, queen to g5 is better. But I play queen to h4. It's not a blunder, so it's fine. White has an advantage. And here he blunders. He has to play queen to d8. This. And then I'm gonna double up, and the game is gonna go on. He's gonna have a tough time. His time is running low, but it's still a game. I'm only a pawn and a half up. So that's what he had to do. Instead, he does that. Looks like a good move, centralizing, but he's obviously missed this tactic. Rook takes on f6, and he can't take the rook because otherwise it's mate. That's why I played it. He doesn't see that. His best move is king to g8, and then I keep my rook. I'm a piece up, and I'm gonna win the game eventually anyway. But he took, and it's just an easy mate in 3. Knight comes here. There's no way to prevent mate on g7, and it's game over. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, Monday, I guess. Bye bye.